name is Shantanu and welcome to my video. I'm from India, a semi-peripheral region, studying human geography and FIC, and with everything that I've learned and my very own experiences, I would like to try my level best to illustrate my true ideas about the subject. The three places that I have chosen for the discussion are Mumbai, which is located in Maharashtra, India, rising up to be a world-class city supporting India's GDP with its corporate and entertainment industry. It also happens to be a city where I have spent most of my life. The next city that I have chosen is Udaipur, which is in Rajasthan province. This is where it all began, where I was born. It is also called the City of Lakes, one of the most beautiful cities in India and the world. It is a very small city, following strict traditions and culture, with very peculiar social norms. And then finally, I have chosen Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I have been here for about an year now, and the place never seems to be stopped fascinating me with its pleasant surprises. And also, one of the major reasons I have chosen Vancouver is because I thought it would be a great idea to compare a top-notch core region with a semi-peripheral region with its differences in culture. India is a very vast country with a population of 1.3 billion with many religions and a very controversial history, which helped build India what it truly is now. Cultural differences can be observed inside India every 50 kilometers, inside provinces, and these slight differences become much bigger as comparisons between provinces comes into the story. India, in general, is a country which has its cultural identity shaped by the religions and traditions of India. These religions and traditions control the society. Not following these rules and values may be considered a bigger crime than much more serious matters in most countries. For instance, eating a cow may be considered a bigger crime than stealing in our country. It is a country where in smaller cities you have to think about society to do anything absolutely outside the box. Culture is the very ruler of all other major subjects in India. It controls politics. All the laws and decisions are made under the religion's watchful eye. For instance, one of the biggest problems in India is called reservations. The topic of reservation introduces India of about 100 years ago. The caste system was actually taken seriously in the society, dividing people into 5 castes, with Shudras and Parhyans in the bottom of the system. And then 70 years ago, when the Indian constitution was formed, the government attempted to fix these problems by giving special attention to people of these communities. They had seats reserved at the best places of education and work. And now the reality of the situation is that the caste system is not even known by this generation. But people with these family names get a very big advantage, and no matter how hard one might try or work in order to get into these institutions, the people with those family names still have an upper hand. And now, even when everything is equal, it still works the same, and the Indian constitution is left untouched. Materialism plays a massive role in the culture and beliefs of Indians. With population being 70% Hindu, 50% Islam, 8% Christianity and 7% others, and with the addition of British control and the Mughal invasion, India's culture has had a lot of variations. All the actions have had deep effects on the people, like when the Hindu kings had their palaces which looked like that. And who knows, they could have remained this way forever. But then the Mughals invaded, and the architecture started to look a little bit like this. And then came the British with their ideologies. And this picture is from a railway station in Mumbai. And when you live in Mumbai, you feel more of a British and Hindu king's touch into the structure of the main city. And when you go to Udaipur, more of Hindu kings and the slightest of Mughal touch. And this keeps changing throughout India with different cultures and beliefs and the powers which and the history of those places. One of the major reasons why I have chosen Mumbai and Udaipur is because of its major differences in culture. Cultural traits of someone from Udaipur are more traditional, with religious mindset and very restricted thinking about topics which oppose the sayings of religion. And then comes people who are from Mumbai. They tend to have more globalized cultural traits. They are on the verge of becoming westernized but are restricted a bit by the culture of the surrounding cities. There are a few cities like Mumbai which portray themselves to be the rebels, breaking through the traditions and stepping forward. And then small cities like the most in India which have a little more strict overview on these rules. I personally believe that I was born in Udaipur but have a cultural identity of someone from Mumbai and also a part of population who tries to get rid of the useless rules and unnecessary commotion out of every small detail of my country. Sticking to the roots of tradition and keeping the important parts in mind, my attempt is to get rid of the problems in India. Now, I would like to introduce Vancouver into the discussion. Vancouver is the perfect example of a globalized culture, a perfect set goal for all the other cities. Perfectly accepting mentality which accepts everyone, and as discussed in the examples before, some countries don't even acknowledge their very own. Things just work so well here, with sophisticated rules and everyone else following it and respecting it. Society is more open as compared to semi regional societies. When it comes to clothing, gender, behavior, no one really gets outcasted from the society. Everyone is nice and polite to all. That is the Canadian culture. I'm not saying there are no cultural differences. There are differences everywhere. For instance, let's compare downtown and suburban areas. So, what I see here is so fascinating because downtown seems so fast paced. Everyone is busy, some places are very work oriented, and everyone over there just seems to be in a hurry and set to help the economy of the country. And maybe just few blocks next, you'll see people doing something else. For instance, shopping or eating, living their glamorous lifestyles, because that's what I see in the Vancouver downtown. And then as we move to suburbs, the lifestyle begins to get more and more laid back. Everything is scheduled and organized, giving proper time to family, work, pleasure. It all just seems so happy. That marks the end of the discussion. I hope you enjoyed my attempt on illustrating my ideas and experiences through video clips, pictures, and voice notes. Thank you so much for watching.